Hey guys and welcome! After 2 videos full of tips and tricks for Battlefield 2042, there's not too much left on my list anymore, but there are still a few things the game doesn't tell you or that you didn't even know you can do. Let's start with the map Discarded and what I would call manual Levolution. Cause on this map you can modify different parts as a player. Scattered across the area are a lot of winches. Some of them are attached to shipwrecks or ship parts and others are not. The ones that are attached can be activated by interacting with them. I found 3 winches so far, but I'm sure there are more, so feel free to tell me in the comments below if you found another one. The first one I found is at the D objective in Conquest Large, which is the first big ship when you're coming from the US base. On the side of the ship are 2 winches that you can activate. When you do this, the side of the ship gets pulled out and opens a new path. But you have to activate the 2 winches quickly after each other or activate them together with a teammate. Otherwise the second winch won't work and you have to do both of them again. But as far as I know, you can't break them. Then there's another one on the other side of the map at Objective E. When coming from the Russian spawn, there's a smaller ship and on the side again one of these winches. Activate it and it slowly pulls out a complete part of the shipwreck. And the third one is at a small part between the 2 ships in front of C1 when playing Breakthrough. It's only one winch as well and also pulls out a part of the ship. Unfortunately, you cannot remotely control the winches with Rao's Cyber Warfare suit. You have to press the buttons directly at the winch. On other maps I haven't seen anything similar yet, except for the bridges on Kaleidoscope that you can raise or lower by pressing the buttons at the control panels or use Rao's suit to remotely control them. Same for some of the ramps that you can raise at Manifest to provide cover for you and your teammates, or just block the way for enemy vehicles. But this kind of Levolution seems only be existing on Discarded. And when talking about Levolution, there's a simple tip for the tornado and how to avoid getting sucked up by it. Cause even though it looks really impressive, it can be pretty annoying when it appears and carries you away while you were fighting for an objective. So to avoid this, simply go prone and the tornado won't suck you up again. Sounds strange, but I've done this successfully quite a few times. You will still take damage from it, so you shouldn't be on low health, but you won't get hurled through the air. You can also hold on to a ladder or hide behind a pole or a pipe, that works as well. The next tip is for controlling the elevators inside buildings, cause that can play a major role in defending objectives. You can stop the elevators from operating by placing iris deployable cover between the doors. This way you can block the elevators for a bit, but not forever. The covers will get destroyed automatically after a while and the elevators can be called again. It's still a good strategy to keep the enemies from using them and make them find other ways to get to the objective that you can control more easily. The covers are the only things that work like this. If you place anything else like the ammo crates or iris trophy system, it won't work. When blocked, the elevator's display will also show an error code on all floors, so if you are an attacker and you see this, you know what's going on. Another helpful gadget for defending an objective is Boris Sentry Gun. Unfortunately, it gets destroyed pretty fast and there's a long cooldown before you can use the next one. But there's a simple trick to use it infinitely and avoid the cooldown and the destruction of the turret. Just pick it up before it gets destroyed and you can immediately place it again. Just make sure to wait a short moment before you deploy it again, otherwise it will get placed with only about 60% of its health. If you wait a short moment, it will have full health. This way you can easily control a whole area in front of you. Just place the turret on high ground and stay inside its circle to raise its efficiency. Keep an eye on the health bar and quickly pick it up before it gets destroyed. Wait a moment and place it again. If you do it right, you can use the turret almost infinitely. The next tip is for the plus menu. In case you didn't know it, you can modify the plus menu at any time during a match and also try out attachments you just unlocked. When you are in a match, no matter if on the map or in the spawn screen, and you press the options button on controller or escape on PC, you have access to your collection. Here you can modify your plus menu the same way you can do it outside of a match in the main menu. When you spawn again, you will have access to the newly added attachments immediately. This also works with attachments you just unlocked during the match. They will be available immediately in the collection and can then be added to your weapon. You don't have to wait until the end of the match to use them or to modify your plus menu. In the same way, you can also switch squads during a match. Unfortunately, there is still no way to choose your squad on your own, but you can at least switch to another one that the game chooses randomly for you. Just go to the aforementioned options and click Squad and Players. Then go to your username and click the right mouse button, X on Xbox or Square on PlayStation. The game will then assign you to another squad automatically. And here's also where you can report or block players, by the way. Again, choose the username of the player and then press F on PC, Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation. Then you can choose to report someone for different reasons like abusive text, cheating and so on, or block them from joining your games or sending you friend requests. But back to the match and to the call-in system now, cause you can not only use it with your feet on the ground, but also when you are on a parachute. This way you can call in an armored vehicle or a tank while you are descending from the sky, and if your timing is right, you can land with the vehicle or actually inside it already. I used this quite a lot when the rooftop objectives were in the game, but even now it's still useful if you jump out of a heli behind enemy lines and want to drop down with a vehicle. First of all, you will have more firepower, and second, you will provide a spawn point for your squad. It takes a bit of practice, but once you got the hang of it, it works quite well. Maybe try it in some bot lobbies first to get a feel for the right timing. Another hint for vehicles that you might have not recognized yet is that abandoned vehicles and aircrafts will explode automatically after a while to clear them from the map and make them available again. In former Battlefield titles, it was always a bit annoying when abandoned vehicles were on the map and blocked the respawn of new ones. But DICE solved this problem this time. If you exit a vehicle and you move more than 20 meters away from it, it will slowly take damage until it explodes. If one of your teammates gets back into the vehicle before it explodes or an enemy enters it, the timer is stopped and the vehicle will start to self-repair instead. If you didn't know, the self-repair also works when you are not inside the vehicle, but within 20 meters around it. If the vehicle was used by an enemy before, you have to get inside first to trigger the self-repair mechanic, but then you can exit it and wait for its repair cycle to end. And at the end, 2 more tips for sniper rifles and the aim down sight speed. When learning a sniper rifle and their bullet drop, it can help to watch the bullet's trajectory and how it aligns with your crosshair. You can easily do this by stopping your soldier from chambering a new round. This will avoid scope shaking or reloads. Just hold the trigger button after firing the weapon and your soldier will hold the weapon steady until you release the trigger again. It works with all sniper rifles of the game and can be very helpful, especially for new players. And if you ever wondered if running or sprinting will affect your aim down sight speed in Battlefield 2042, no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter at all if you are just walking or if you are running or even sprinting. The aim down sight speed and also the sprint to fire speed will always be the same. It won't work any faster if you are only walking. The only thing that affects the aim down sight speed are some of the optics that have an ADS speed punishment. These are all of the zoom scopes, but you can also see it in the description of the attachments. And last but not least, I just wanted to show you an old friend from Battlefield 5 that you can find on the map Breakaway. It's the little snowman on the edge of the ice wall alongside 2 chairs looking down into the valley. It could also be found and even built up on the 2 Battlefield 5 maps Fjell and Narvik, but unfortunately you cannot build it up in Battlefield 2042 due to the missing fortification system. You can only destroy it, but then it's gone. The snowman's nose is pointing towards the direction of the penguins, so if you haven't visited them yet, you know how to find them now. And that's it for today. If you have any more tips or things I forgot so far, feel free to share them in the comments below, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumb up and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm the Catwoman, and you are awesome.